Hello. AI is changing everything at a rapid pace, more rapid pace than we are able to keep up. It's changing technology, it's changing finance, it's changing the way we do little things every day. So, my main job is fintech. Also personally, I also try to keep myself apprised of like the latest charting technologies and try to do some stock analysis on the side. So I had a small template before based on my little learnings of how I used to manage my own personal stock portfolio in Excel and Google Sheets and things like that. I'll show you that in a minute. But really, this video was because I'm amazed at what Claude code can do. I've seen it do this at a lot of employee workplaces, and also personally in my home when I'm having this trouble. So this really is an attempt to go over some of the stuff, my workspace, my finance or portfolio specifics, and how I'm using some of the tech to really, uh, make the best use for myself. So let's get into it, right? So a few years back, I went into this book called Stan Weinstein's Trend Template, or Stan Weinstein. So he's considered the godfather of charting. So all the momentum traders and the swing traders are born from this methodology of Stan Weinstein. And all it does is basically uh, they want to they use something called like a weekly moving average, and according to Stan Weinstein, the best uh, place to buy something would be around like this area. If you see over here, this area where you're coming into stage 2, but you don't buy something which is like below the moving averages. So he defines everything into multiple stages, and he says the best thing is to buy into this stage 2. So very simply, I think like this is a very old book. It's nothing fancy. Like anybody could go and read this book, but really it introduced me to the world of charting. And as I was saying, I'm not a momentum trader and swing trader, but some of my folks which whom I know are momentum and swing traders, and you can see them using like charting, basic charting. For example, this is AMD chart. For example, this is a weekly moving chart, and if you buy something at this section is really good because this is the 30-50 week moving average, and you buy something over here, it's good because you're gonna pick off the trend. And I don't want to go into too many details about like there are a lot of rules into this, but I had something like a Python program earlier on where it used to do something very basic. I can show you what the template was in the Python program. Was basically to, 1 second. Yeah, if you see, I gave it a list of stocks, and all I'm doing over here is this is the template where your close is greater than the 150 simple moving average, more than the 200 simple moving average, 150 more than 200, close greater than 50 SMA, blah blah blah. So we use Pandas library because it's openly available with Python, and Yahoo Finance also has an API. So all I want to do is for these stock symbols, go to Yahoo Finance and get like the latest prices, and put those, create like moving average. So I'm getting like the last 50 or 150-day prices, 200-day prices, put calculate the moving averages here, and I'm just doing some basic if else conditions, saying that like if all these conditions are met, just print a table for me and things like that. So nothing fancy, but the thing is, it's been a while I ran this program. So let me show you the first use case for like Claude, where I had some issues with the program, and I said, hey, can you peek into this? um, yeah, can you peek into this? and just try to fix it. So it had some issues. So it had a window issue. Some of the API was deprecated, and some of the things was adjusted. Close column was changed from Yahoo from an API perspective, so it moved that. Some of the there was syntax errors supposedly because I was editing. I was in the middle of editing, so it did a few changes and said, okay, these are the problems. I fixed it. So this is basically, it would have taken me like maybe a half an hour or 1 hour to like see what is wrong, and I'm trying to fix like an old script. And I've seen some people do like Python 2 to Python 3. It used to be like um, maybe like 3 weeks to a month or 2 months exercise. Right now it's a matter of minutes. That's how crazy Claude Code is. So it was able to do that like immediately for me, and it was able to like run it for me. So what I did is, now I went back here, and I just ran this program. If I ran this program, it went and got all the data from Yahoo, and it's able to tell me, for if I ran the Stan Weinstein screener for like March 7th, it's able to say that these certain rules failed, whatever. But there are two stocks which the rules pass, which is ADI, which is analog digital services. I think it doesn't really matter, because there are a lot of stocks which are like under the moving average. Some stocks are passing through that, but if you see, all my 8 rules passed. So you can give like whatever rules you want. I obviously define my rules based on like Stan Weinstein's theories and stuff like that. But okay, this is just like the beginning. Right now, let's go into part 2 of this. It's just crazy. Let's just go into part 2 of this. So I had a simple investment thesis or whatever, where I go and I add some setup in Google Sheets. There is an instructions on whatever I do here. I used to enter my trades here. I used to have a dashboard here. It used to print out like what my portfolio is, and my it's all most of it is random, most of it is made up. I have to like keep updating these a lot. It's too tedious to really keep updating this on a everyday basis, right? So it's again like from a few years. And what I did is that I said, Claude, these are my ideas. Take my the Give me like a Python script, make it connect to with Pandas library, make it connect to Yahoo Finance API, Yahoo Direct API, and try to get me back like the latest setup and stats and things like that. It just did something crazy, right? So whatever my Excel does, it did it in like 2 hours, and I did everything else in the next 3 to 4 hours. So total development time of Claude was probably like 2 to 3 hours. But again, the 2 to 3 hours is not its time to do coding. It's basically me talking to it and saying it, giving it directions. So really, like, it's acting like a junior developer for me, where I want to give it instructions and say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is my Jira. This is my requests. Build this website. So the thing is, I'm not a UI developer, and I was able to build this website, which is this website, in again a matter of like 6 to 7 hours. I never developed UIs. I obviously did some JavaScripts and Angular and HTML, but predominantly I'm a server-side Java, Scala, Python developer. And really, what was amazing is that it's able to do whatever I give it, and request it to do. So let me just go over some of the things it did for me. So this is a basic dashboard, right? So this is, as you can see, my Google Sheet, which had like this, like whatever setup, and this setup I had to like do over a long time. And if I make a bad entry over here, the whole thing gets screwed up. So it's not as liquid as this. So it's able to give me based on my trade entries. So I use trade entry. So here I'm using like SQLLite DB, which is like JSON backed. And here, as you see, I can enter my trades. We can enter like just a trade right now. I want to show you like one feature out of this. Like if I do something like Nvidia, just say I bought like 50 shares, but say I bought it 2 years back. Just say I got lucky and bought the Nvidia 50 shares 2 years back, or maybe 3 years back. Typing bad. Okay, so it's 23 bucks, right? So 23 bucks, just say for fun's sake, I'm gonna add Nvidia 50 shares, or even like whatever 100 shares at 23. I'm gonna add trade. Did you see that it auto populated based on the the date I was giving it, and it's going to add to this portfolio. So I say add trade, it added it, and if I go to the dashboard now, somehow Nvidia became my largest holding because of that thing, and it became like 26% of my portfolio, because now those 100 shares are worth 17,000, even though they cost me like 2,000 back there, right? And here it's so that the total PNL is like 18,000. And so it's able to tell me like these are my positions, and I created a tab called performance, right? And it says like this is QQQ, this is SPY, this is whatever trailing and things like that. I also broke it a section saying that this is my monthly activity. What did I do in November? I sold something called hymns, whatever. May I bought something. So this is just like my monthly activity. The best part about this is I'm able to break things down by year. How much gains did I make in like a certain year, unrealized PNL, which is like positions still in my portfolio, fundamentals, which was awesome, right? These are all the things which I go to like another website for. I go to another website and get fundamentals from like Finviz or TradingView or whatever, right? We get, or Yahoo Finance, Google Finance. We go there and we say, okay, what is the market cap, what is the P, what are the forward P, price by sales, and things like that. It's able to get me all these. Now I'm able to ask Claude, you know, what are my 5 weakest positions. So you see this. So I'm gonna now go back to Claude and show you some of this, how it's done. Give me a breakdown of my 10 weakest positions in my portfolio and explain why they are weak according to fundamentals. Right now you are showing 5, make that 10 and more elaborate description. So right now it's gonna act for me like a it's not doing just coding, it's gonna act for me as a finance analyst. So that's one of the prompts I had over here in the beginning, saying that, oh, you are not just my technical analyst, you are my finance analyst. I can show you some of the prompts. Like, it's since I've hit limits for the last 3 or 4 days. It's crazy. My backend is Python, FastAPI, SQLLite. Front end is React. Again, not much React experience. I was able to debug a little bit. Um, Also, being a technologist, I'm able to like go through the logs, right? So if I go through the logs of what happened here, what it's doing in this case, it tried to look up Nvidia. If you see, typed some bad number here and couldn't find it in the cache. It's able to find Nvidia. First we tried to look at Yahoo Direct API, then we look at like the Yahoo Finance API, then it's creating like a REST thing based on like get the positions and things like that. So yeah, I think in yeah, this is just a breakdown of like how it was doing stuff. So Fast API, which is part of like the Python, I'm using the Fast API. It serves like the React app as static files. So yeah, SQLLite database, as I was saying earlier, and it's creating all these things by itself. And I'm able to talk to it like how we create Jiras or how we create like development works, right? So we are able to say, okay, create for me get me 365 days of data, do this, cache it, make sure like when you load the page, there is a performance delay for if you every time you load the page. For example, I can show you for this page, like if I refresh this page, initially it'll always come and wait over here, but I'm gonna say, hey, you know what, like have a cache methodology. Your I don't want to come and press because it's lazy fetching, it's not like actively fetching. um, yeah, so I'm able to like talk to it, and a lot of my positions are bad. Probably I'm a not a great trader, but in terms of like in terms of like what I wanted to achieve, what my current website has, it has insanely more things already, and I only spent 5 to 6 hours over here, just 5 to 6 hours over here. And that's the crazy part about this, right? That I the amount of time I'm spending, I could spend on learning another book, maybe try to learn another book, try to learn another strategy of how to make money, and just try to implement it. And you can backtest it, right? For people coming in finance, obviously you know what you can backtest. Now I can write like a small thing asking it to by the way, this is the Claude Pro version where I bought like the $20 a month sort of stuff. So this is the Claude Pro version, and you can always say. So it's doing a rewrite right now. It's doing like a weakest stock analysis to show 10 and add a build a narrative function for build per stock write-ups and expand the scoring with all the available feeds. But if you see on the side, it's already doing some stuff. It's fetching, going and fetching some fundamentals, because I pressed the fundamentals button. This is I use for my like debugging and things like that. So it really, I think it it's an amazing tool at your fingertips, and you have to really use it for what it is. I'm just experimenting with this so much that I'm amazed and blown away with the possibilities that it's able to just to show you this website again. It's able to give me my trades and my top position size, position sizing, whatever. It's able to look at the trades, and I'm able to enter trades into any portfolio I want. It's able to give me performance and like a monthly breakdown. It's able to give me realized and unrealized performance. It's able to do fundamental analysis for me, because so far whatever I was showing you is more of like chart analysis, but it's able to do like fundamental analysis for me, which is always like for a technical trader or a chart trader. You have to look at some fundamentals, but it's really you're giving a lot of importance to the chart. So really it was doing even that. And I think it's been an amazing 6 to 7 hours of my time. I've not been this, to be honest, like excited in like my personal, projects sort of things, pet projects sort of things, as you say. Like a lot of people do pet projects and things like this. So yeah, I mean, as you saw, it's already went and like wrote a lot of this code. It's able to say go into revenue growth, go into ROE, it went into earnings growth, it went into institutional holder count, recommendations, target means, and things like that. I mean, it's really like it's not gonna do everything for you and just you sit back. You have to communicate with it what you want, really. I think you have to give it the context. You have to give it the context that, okay, please act like a finance analyst, and assume that you read like Stan Weinstein chart theory, assume that you read Ashwath Damodaran's finance valuation classes. Really, once you go and give it like that level of detail, it can really do this. And that's the really amazing part about it. So now it's telling me that it already did this function, it added some weight for each function, and it already did this. So let me go back to my main screen, and if I say refresh this again, and in my fundamentals, if I say load fundamentals, just give it like a second. Obviously, if you see back here, it's kind of getting the data. It's getting all this data. Again, I'm using my tech hat right now to see how well it's performing, in terms of like logs, any issues in the logs, any boo boos code wise, any errors. If you see, right now, as of now, we don't see like that many errors because I already sorted out like a lot of the errors. So it's yeah, let's go back to the page. And if you see, yeah, my fundamentals are now loaded for some of the stocks I have in my portfolio. And okay, I should have just left it alone. Yeah. And you see it gives me like I have something called Dow unprofitable, bad. It's analysis. If I want analysis, it gives me, or Doevo has not achieved profitability posting, whatever, right? I bought some crypto stuff, clean spark, not good. It says that deeply unprofitable company is not good. Asana, something like a competitor or a workflow competitor for Team or Jira. I see company that is burning through its own book value. So really, I think it's giving me like all, so Coinbase and Face, Tesla. So again, I'm not really like the best stock trader here, trying to make do with whatever. But really, this is an exercise of how you are a technologist and how you know some finance and your fintech, and now you have these tools at your disposal. And really, I think this tool, the trades, I mean, Skyfolio is like my portfolio tracker. The trades, it could be your trades. Like for example, anybody's trades. I think I could kind of outsource this if you want. All these are my portfolios. This is obviously like a demo portfolio, but all those trades are not zapped in the binary, the trade file, which is a SQLLite.db file. It's outside. So I do have like something like this. This is like a DB browser, right? So you could just take your Excel, tell Claude, hey, make a DB file and for yourself, and I could give you this package and you could just run it yourself, without having to do any of the work, because already did all the grunt work, right? So you could just like update, remove my file, add your file, and just run it, and you will have like this dashboard. And I'm telling you, this dashboard is just few hours of work. We're able to come and do this, which is this is probably like a full-time job for few people, I'm sure, in multiple parts of the world, but it's able to do it, right? And yeah, onwards and upwards, I think the tools we have at this, I'm really excited to see what all comes out of it, and how I can also maybe spend more time with this. Always thought of like hiring a developer to do some app or to do some website, but now this is again running on my local host and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you the intersection of finance and technology and Claude, really, to get to this page, really. Cool, guys. Thank you. Next time.